Just like life here in Laguna Woods, our show today is going to be eclectic. We're going to start by meeting some members of the Chicago Club and find out about their membership. We're going to find out some things about their 40th anniversary this year. They're going to be going to, guess where? Chicago. And we're going to dispel the myth. Do you have to be from Chicago to join the Chicago Club? And then we're going to shift gears completely. We're going to go into Clubhouse 1 and we're going to see the annual dog vaccination and licensing event. We're going to spend our time with a room full of loving owners and really cute dogs. You can't miss it. It's going to be a fun event. Come on with us, won't you? Hi everyone, and now we're speaking with several members of the Chicago Club. We have Bill Hoffman, we have Bernie Frogel, and we have Sharon Beck with us today. And we're going to start with Sharon Beck. Sharon, how are you today?
I'm great.
That's good. Good, thank you. We're very excited to know more about the Chicago Club. It's a very vibrant club here in the village, and I understand that since you were established in 1979, you're experiencing a really big anniversary this year, aren't you?
We are. This is our 40th anniversary, and we're going to have a big party in October. And we're also having a sock hop in April, which is our second sock hop. We had one last year, and it was wonderful.
Yes.
And we're going to have another one again, and there are even more people wanting to go. And it is a very vibrant club, and it's vibrant because the board is so enthusiastic about everything that we do.
Well, good. I want to ask some foundational questions.
Sure.
You know, how was it started? I mean, I'm assuming it was started by folks from Chicago.
Exactly.
But the big question is, do you have to be from Chicago to join?
Right. No, actually, I'm from Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I tell people that all the time.
Yes.
No, it was started with people from Chicago, but it just grew. And similarly to the other clubs, it has just become a social club. And basically it's every second Thursday of the month. We're not dark, so it's 12 months a year. And it starts around 6 o'clock. Actually, the show starts at 7. And it's pretty much the same format. We've introduced now a comedian. So we have a comedian for almost every show. And then we also have a singer, performer of some kind.
Yes.
And then we have coffee and cake.
So the structure of the club is that when you meet, you have entertainment that comes to those meetings.
Exactly.
But you also have a huge travel component, don't you? I mean,
Yes.
because when I first moved here 5 years ago, I asked someone, do you have a travel club here? And they said, no, but you should join the Chicago Club. And so you are known as the travel club in the village. And so did that start right away?
No, that's relatively recent, actually. And it started maybe, I don't know, 70 years ago, perhaps.
I see.
And there were always travel, but it wasn't as much as it is now.
Right.
Now we pretty much have a trip every month.
Okay, good.
And sometimes even more than once a month.
Yes, that's really amazing because I hear so much about it, and people are always excited when they come back from these trips, and so I want to find out more about how to be able to go to them, how to participate in this. Now, Bernie and Bill, Bernie, what is your responsibility? Are you one of the officers of the club?
Actually, I'm the chairman of the travel committee. And I've only lived in the village about a year, and I met Sharon early on, and she realized that I was a professional travel agent for about 15 years, so she thought my expertise would help the club.
Yes.
And I volunteered into that position, and now I have a committee of about 10 people that help us plan these trips. And we do a great job. Our budget this year is about $100,000. So,
Boy, that's
and no one
great.
gets a free trip, no one gets a salary. It's all a voluntarily put together event.
And you do this by maybe somebody suggesting to go someplace, and then you research it and see if that's viable?
Pretty much all of the above. We have a professional tour guide that we work with almost exclusively. That's Bill. And we have input from the 10 members that have been all over the state seeing things, and we discuss it, and we come up with something we think people would be interested in.
And do people then maybe write to you or send information to you saying, hey, have you ever considered going here? I know it's local, but do you go local places?
We get some input from past travelers, and we try to consider to see if the group would be interested in putting that together.
Yes, because it has to be about interest too. If you don't have enough interest, then probably you're not going to go far.
Well, the travel component is obviously an important part of what we do, but it's not my focus as a professional travel agent. I say that the club has three, or the committee has three aspects, and I call them good friends, great times, and safe travels. And that's what we provide to the membership. I mean, at our age group, we want to have it put together for us. We want to go to have a good time. We want to make new friends. And if you're new to the village, you can't beat spending a day on a bus with someone. So you meet a lot of new friends.
That's true.
And we plan some great times, and of course, safe travels.
Yes.
Very important for our age group.
Boy, that's the best. It really is. And you say safe, because there's a lot of things that can happen out there on the highways, and you might not know where to stay if you're staying overnight somewhere.
Right.
All this taken care
We
of.
put it all together. It's door-to-door service.
Oh boy, that's terrific, and food and all that. Thank you very much. Now, Bill, it's all right. You have a lot of responsibility in this club, don't you? You're putting this all together.
It's been a lot of fun. 6 years ago, I came to Laguna Woods. I think once a year or twice a year, the village opens up to outside vendors, and I made a slideshow. And the Chicago Club liked what I presented, and they contacted me. And for 6 years now, I presented tour ideas, which is great because I have a master's and a PhD in urban planning, and I love cities, and I think Southern California has so many incredible things to do. And it's my job to find an interesting combination of things that people maybe didn't realize. And I think we've gone on a trip a month now for 6 years, and it's so much fun. And being a teacher, I think I provide something a little extra. I give a background packet with history and a trivia quiz. And the goal of my company is fun and educational tours. And when I met the Chicago Club, they're such a fun bunch of people and so smart that they love going places and learning things. And we have done so much. We've had so much fun, and there's no shortage of places in Southern California.
Yes, and I was reading some of the itineraries that you have had for past trips or upcoming trips, particularly the one in Chicago that's coming up. I know you have a gangster, so sort of a sub tour there. You are going to see architecture of Frank Lloyd Wright's Oak Park Studio. There are other things that you're going to be seeing that are, kind of maybe the hidden gems of a city. So you do a lot of research on these, don't you? And it's specific to your audience. It's something that's doable. It's not going to involve a whole lot of walking. It's not going to involve a whole lot of anything. It's going to be easy.
And that's true of all of our trips. All of our trips provide usually some walking, but the fact is that it's enough that if you want to not walk to that particular thing, you can do it. We try to get elevators in buildings. We try to get, the last trip we had, there was a cart that took people up the hill.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. So Sharon, you were telling me a little bit about how the trips are decided, how much activity or how little activity. How do you decide that?
Well, we really just try to think about our audience and think about the people, that what people can do and not do. And if they can't do, as I said, if they can't really do it, they can still be on the trip and just sit in a place. We've had people do that. We've had people come with their walkers. We've and it works. It works because there's enough to do that even if you can't climb up a hill, it's okay.
Even where you're sitting, there's stimulation around you so that you can get the feeling of that place without having to go in every little spot. Well, that's wonderful. I love your thought planning of this, keeping everyone's needs and abilities in mind.
Even people that get car sick, we save them seats in the front.
Oh my goodness, you're thinking of everybody's needs. Oh, I love that. That's wonderful.
That we make sure that everybody feels good.
Okay, so now we have to know, how can I join? How can other people join? How do we get into this?
Okay, well, you can join the Chicago Club. It's $25 a year, which is certainly inexpensive enough. And then each trip is discounted for you. If you don't join the Chicago Club and you come as a non-member, you pay a little bit more. And we have flyers for every single trip. They're in the kiosks. And we also, for the members, we do a blast on the computer. And of course we have a website now, a very, very ongoing website that's very much up to date. So there's all kinds of ways in which you can find out what trip is next. Now these trips, a lot of them sell out really quickly.
Oh, I'm sure. Limited capacity.
We're limited, We're limited to one bus, which holds usually about 52 to 54 people. And the last trip that we took, we were full with 54 people.
That's wonderful. And you do local excursions too. Did you do Hearst Castle?
We did. Oh, that was wonderful.
That would, because that's really kind of hard to get to.
That
if
was
you're
a 3-day trip.
It was 3 days.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It was the train and a bus.
Oh, no kidding. So they
Yeah.
got to go on the express train,
Right.
the Amtrak
Yeah.
or whatever. Oh,
Right.
that's great. That's great. Well, that was really cool too.
Yeah.
I mean, most people don't go on a train in California.
I wanted to give you an example of some of the hidden gems that we see. The city of Claremont is a beautiful college town. It has 5 beautiful universities. But on the way to Claremont is a beautiful Hindu mandir, and it's open to the public. It's beautiful red sandstone on the outside, white marble on the inside. We do a tour of it. There's an education center. Then we go to the city of Claremont and we have a music demonstration at the Claremont Folk Music Center. And it's a museum of all these great instruments, and it's a wonderful store. It's owned by the same family for 46 years. Then everybody is free for lunch because it's such a nice walkable village with a bakery. And then we go to the actual campuses, and there's some beautiful murals. One mural by Ramos Martinez is one of the most famous murals in Southern California. And Jose Orozco also has a mural there. And then we go to the botanical gardens, and it's all within about 3 or 4 miles. So these are things that people wouldn't necessarily discover on their own.
No, indeed,
Exactly.
no, or put them together in one particular
Yeah.
package.
Right.
And then I know that you're planning to go to the desert, and you're hoping to time that to
Yes.
the desert blooms.
Yes.
Because I know it's like the fall foliage
Right.
back east. It's hard to
Right.
time these things.
Yes.
But I hope that you do
You know,
that.
to that extent, when you go into Joshua Tree and you enter from 29 Palms, there's a 22-mile loop road. And we plan 5 stops for people. We have a picnic at Hidden Valley. We have about a 3/4 of a mile nature loop around Cap Rock. We get off at Skull Rock, and then we go to Keys View, which is 5,000 feet elevation, looking down at Palm Springs. So it's very doable, super fun.
There's something for everyone. And boy, if you're a photographer, if you're an artist, you know, all of these things are so important to see and to have this planned for you and to be taken there safely and with friends and good food and good fun. I mean, it's the best.
Now, we've also done cruises.
Oh my goodness.
We just had a doo-wop cruise.
No kidding.
And we had a really good turnout, a lot of people. We had a lot of fun. We're going to have it again next year.
Well, I'll bet that a lot of people want to know more about what it's like to be on one of these excursions or cruises. So next, we're going to bring up some folks that have actually gone on these trips, and they're going to give us this first-person narrative of what it was like. So stay with us. We're going to come right back, and we're going to talk to a couple of folks who have actually been on one of the Chicago Club trips. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cartmart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Car here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cartmart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
David's in jail? Where?
Here in San Antonio, ma'am. I'm David's lawyer and I'm trying to get him out of jail.
Well, what do you need me to do?
Why, $700, or better yet, send me a credit card number and I'll get him out of jail immediately.
When in doubt, hang up. Scammers will find family facts for an emotional effect.
Oh, can I talk to him?
I'm sorry, ma'am. He's in jail. If you want to get him out, you got to get me $700 immediately.
If at all in doubt, hang up. It could save you from financial ruin.
Well, we're back now, and I'm speaking with Dorothy and Carmen Pacella, who are 2 members of the Chicago Club, and they're going to tell us a little bit about some of the experiences that they've recently had traveling with the club. Hi, Dorothy and Carmen Pacella. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
That's good. So you've been on some tours, some trips.
We have.
And how long have you lived in the woods?
We've lived in the woods almost 18 months.
18 months. You've gone on how many?
4.
4 trips? Oh my goodness.
And similar to what Sharon was saying, we first learned at the Chicago Club because I'm from Chicago. And so I thought that was a natural place for me to be, but only to learn that it didn't matter. But we went anyway.
They let me in.
They let him in.
They let you in.
It didn't matter. So that's how it started.
So that-
but as
okay.
quickly as we belonged, we saw all the agendas and the activity and the camaraderie and the fellowship with the guests, with the members, that we had to be there.
Yes. So tell me, have you gone on longer trips or local trips? What have you been doing?
Just day trips.
Day trips.
So it's a bus, and we park in Clubhouse 3, leave our car,
Yep.
get on the Hoffy tour bus, which is about 55 people, and then we go for the day. And so our first trip was to the Getty Villa in Santa Monica in Malibu. And that was very interesting. Yeah. Plus, at the same time, we got to go in the evening, Santa Monica after dark. So we were still in that area, and Hoffy Tours take us to the pier. And so it's Santa Monica Pier, which normally you wouldn't drive to go. But we went there and
Did you go on the Ferris wheel?
We didn't go on the Ferris wheel, but we were around it.
Sure, you saw it.
And we had, lunch and dinner in town. It was great. It's a great tour.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
so you
so
did
the
that
tours
all
were
one
great.
day. Then they bring you home safely. You get in
Bring
your
us
car
home
and-
safely, and we go home, and that's it.
But
we don't
I
have
hear
to drive in traffic.
the bus itself is kind of fun too. How can that be? What's happening on the bus?
The bus is a lot of fun because it's not just it's not just the destination; it's the journey. We're having fun as we're going because Bill teaches us all different things about where we're going, so we know what to expect when we get there.
That's nice. So,
And
so
then-
you're getting a little kind of
And then
a
we discuss it on the way back.
a briefing of where you're going, what you expect to see there, some history of it.
Right.
And then you have like trivia contests.
We
Yeah,
do. So I brought a packet from last week's tour, just so everyone can see how it works. But Bill spends a lot of time getting ready for us. And as Carmen said, the destination's fabulous, but the journey is really the best part.
Oh, that's great.
So he works hard at this, and there are trivia questions that educate the guests, so you're prepared. So when you get to the destination, you have a whole different perspective now of where you're headed if you didn't already know before you got there.
Yes.
But the real benefit then becomes he has prizes, and that's half the fun. Because he has very famous, much sought after t-shirts and a Larry light, because we all want to win those prizes. So it really, the whole day then becomes productive and enjoyable. Because again, the journey is half the fun.
No, that's great because it's almost like a docent tour.
It is.
Where you're getting information so that when you get there, that it's a much more
Yes.
fulfilling experience
Yes.
because you've heard something about it and you're knowledgeable about what you're
Absolutely.
seeing. That's great. What other tours have you gone on?
The second tour that we went on was one up to the Pasadena area. And we headed off, and we spent quite a bit of the morning touring Pasadena, going through the architectural homes of the green and green architecture. And if you know anything about Pasadena, they are historical, and their contribution to Southern California and our homes and the Pasadena culture is unbelievable.
Yes.
And so he took us to all of the ones. I mean, we drove that big bus up some of the smallest streets in Pasadena, but we made it.
Yes.
And then after that, we had a great lunch. Again, they were accommodating, they were ready for us on time. And then when we left there, we went over to Descanso Gardens.
Yes.
And if you haven't been there, it's a beautiful event. So you're able then to really just enjoy the gardens and the gift shops and everything else. And then he brought us home.
Boy,
So
that's
it was
great.
great all the way.
That's fantastic. I lived in Pasadena for many, many years,
Yes.
and so I'm assuming you went to the Gamble House, which was one
We
of
did.
the
We
major
didn't go
mansions.
in the Gamble, but he pointed it
Right.
out and talked about the historical significance
But
of
you know,
Gamble.
you can live, as I did, in the community and not
Not
see
see
some of
them.
those
Right.
places.
Exactly
You
right.
actually can do that because
Right.
you're so busy and you don't get to
Right.
see them. So that's spectacular that you were able to.
The next trip we went to was JPL.
JPL,
Oh,
which
that's
was
great.
which was very exciting.
Yeah.
Because we were there a week after they had landed the last Mars
rover. Yeah.
Mars
Oh
rover.
my gosh.
And we got to
Exciting
tour
time.
the clean room. They had 4 projects under construction in there, so we got to see projects that will be coming up in 2021, 22, 23.
Isn't that
It's
marvelous?
amazing. Yeah,
Isn't
and
that
plus we
marvelous?
got to sit in the control room. which is totally amazing.
Well, that's
And
an
wh-
insider experience you don't
and
have.
you're seeing the download of all the information, the broadcast that's coming in from the transmission from Mars
How fabulous.
as
Well,
it's live.
I am just so impressed with all
Yeah,
of the
it's-
tours that
it's-
you're all planning, the interest that you're able to tell your planners that you want to go see these things, and they put them together, and so it's endless, it's infinite, isn't it?
It's so much
infinite.
fun. Yes, we
Well-
love the day trips.
Well, we're really thrilled that you were able to come in and spend some time with us today, Dorothy and Carmen, and let us know about your experiences. And I'm sure a lot of people are excited to hear about what you've been doing, and it's really exciting. So thanks so much for joining us today.
Great, thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us today as we heard all about the Chicago Club and all the fun that they're having. So I encourage you to learn more about the Chicago Club and sign up, become a member. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you so much for joining us today.
When I was first diagnosed, they gave me about 2 years to live.
After they took it out, they did some additional tests and it found out that yes, it was a cancerous tumor.
I had an aorta dissection, and that triggered a stroke on top of it.
I've been in treatment a little over 2 years. They saved my life.
If I hadn't been pregnant, they would not have found that mass. If it hadn't been for Ben, I might not be here.
It was amazing that he has knowledge to do what he has to do to save me.
Well, we're here at Clubhouse 1, and this is the Dog Vaccination and Licensing Day. It's an annual event. It's sponsored by the Laguna Woods Dog Club, and it's held to make sure that all of the dogs have their appropriate licenses and vaccinations, and because it protects and makes everybody's dog in the village safe. There are hundreds of dogs and their owners here today. It's a wonderful event. It's very well organized, and the best thing about it is that our Laguna Woods residents are given a discount on all of these services. So we're really happy to be here, and we're going to be talking to some of the folks and their dogs today. So stay with us. We have the pleasure of meeting Jan and Lola now. This is Jan, this is Lola. Yeah. So Jan, do you come to this event every year?
I have come every year. Yes, it's been really great to have it. I'm shocked at how well the dogs all behave while they're here.
Well, I am too. I'm quite surprised. I thought there would be more chaos and madness. Yeah. Tell me about Lola.
Okay, I adopted Lola when I moved to the village here, and somebody couldn't keep the dog, and I took her, and she was about a year old and rambunctious. Oh. And they told me she was an energetic dog, and she sure is, but it's been 7 years, and I wouldn't part with her for anything in the world.
Well, she's frisky, and she's interested and alert and everything.
Oh, and look at that. That's a different one. Okay.
It's part of the day. So now is Lola done? Has she had her?
No, I'm waiting for the license. She's had her shots, and we're just waiting for the license.
Okay, so that is very organized here. Very organized.
Oh, it's been, for the amount of people here, I think the chaos is very low.
Yeah.
And as I say that, some dog is carrying on.
Well, they're having a conversation over there, a dog conversation. That's what they do. They're making new friends. They're so social. Does Lola have a friend?
Oh, yes, she walks with 3 dogs every morning. And so she has a friend of mine walks her and 2 other dogs, and they walk 2.5 miles every. I'm next.
Oh, well, all right. Jan and Lola are up next. Okay, we eagerly await.
And a good experience, and I was kind of dreading it, but it turned out really good. I'm really pleased.
Oh, well, I'm glad. I think that's important to get the word out. Yes. So if other people were saying, well, gee, I don't know what it would be like.
Afraid a little bit, but it's really been good. So, yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for talking with us, Jan. And thank you, Lola. Nice to meet you. Now we're here with Rose and Mochi. Hi, Rose.
Hi there.
So we're here for this wonderful event to get the dogs vaccinated and licensed and so forth. Have you come here before?
Yes, I come here every time his license is due.
Oh,
Yes, it's very convenient.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is if this is convenient? And do they offer a little discount too?
Yes, they offer a discount for seniors, which we all are.
Yes, yes. Well, that's wonderful, and it's so well organized, and everybody's sitting here and waiting, and they're processing everybody. This is great. Does Mochi like coming here?
Oh, he's a very friendly dog, so he gets along with everyone.
Yes. Yes, well, he's sitting there so calmly, and there's all these other dogs around, and he's just taking it all in.
Oh, he loves all the dogs and people.
Yeah, now I asked you if he was a Shih Tzu. I had two Shih Tzus, and he looks like he's just a calm little sweet guy.
Oh, yes. He was, at 3 weeks old, he was found in an alleyway, and the lady was in such pain, she wrapped him up, took him into my daughter's office and said, "Would you take care of him? I'm in such pain." And she had my granddaughter bring her down to PetSmart and said, "Here's my credit card. Get him what he needs."
Yes. Oh, that's
I've had him since.
Oh, that's such a wonderful story. So you had him from that very moment.
Right. And he's 6 years old now.
Oh my gosh. That's tragic, and it turned out to be a wonderful, happy ending.
He's always been very calm and loving.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I can see he is now. So, well, we'll leave you, and we're going to meet some other wonderful little dogs and wonderful pet owners in this room. And this is a really exciting day. Thanks for talking to us, Rose.
Thank you.
And now we're talking to Daphne and Bobo. This is Bobo. This is Daphne. Hi, Daphne.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here and see all these wonderful dogs. This is great.
Yes, we love it. Boba has a great time here. She sees all the little doggies, and she's the calmest little thing around. Not a peep out of her, even when she was vaccinated. Just absolutely loves being with people and with doggies.
Well, I noticed that when we just started talking. She just lay down on my foot. She's just so loving and calm. It's wonderful.
Yeah, everybody loves her. She's very well known in my cul-de-sac and amongst my friends. Everybody just adores her, but nobody as much as I do.
Well, is she a full-bred Shih Tzu?
She is, and it's very rare to get a thoroughbred from a rescue, but I had her since she was 2 years old, and she's a thoroughbred Shih Tzu, and she was actually a rescue dog.
Oh, yeah, I had a couple of Shih Tzus, just this brindle color too, and they're like ambassadors. They always want to be with people and be out there.
Oh, yeah,
you know.
She's so sweet and calm and never gets angry. The only person she gets angry at is the mail carrier.
Oh, yeah. Do you have your mail come in the little chute in the door?
Yeah. And if she's protecting me, if the guy's outside, she'll get very angry. If she's standing next to him, she loves him.
Yes. Well, you're very brave then, aren't you? Oh, my goodness, Bobo. Well, you are a little ambassador. You are a love, and you're just looking at all these other dogs. This is great. So you're done with the process then?
Yeah, I'm just sitting here in the beautiful sun and letting her say hello and be with dogs. I think it's good to socialize and just for her to have a good time. She loves going out.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yes.
we just socializing.
Well, do you go to the dog park too sometimes, Daphne?
I do, yeah. I'm looking forward to the new dog park.
Yes, yeah. I think everyone is. That'll be great. That'll be great. Well, this is on this chilly day. It's so nice to see you out, and here's Bobo sitting in the sun getting warm, and this is just wonderful. And I thank you so much for spending some time talking to us today, Daphne.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.